Anyways, welcome to another episode of Grind Culture Podcast. I am Ed.
I am Colton.
And today we are doing a something different than what we usually do, and that is a Q&A episode.
Yeah.
And some of the people that we reached out to or reached out to us through either Instagram or text message or socials, they provided some questions.
Yeah.
Some good ones too. Some of them that I didn't even think about, or that's an interesting question. I'm actually excited to hear your perspective on some of these.
Cool.
So
I'm excited. And thank you everybody for sending in those questions. All the people that did.
Absolutely. Thank you to everybody that also watches and even has the time to take their time out of their busy day and watch us and then provide a question, and hopefully we'll give you some good answers here. But before we dive into questions, I wanted to catch up on ourselves a little bit. I feel like this past week has been a little hectic at work just because I have kind of been helping Brian get ready for this event that he's going to just through making a video or editing a video or making sure the website's up and running. And I know you've been doing a lot more with trying to help Brian with this event, and on top of that, trying to do your job here.
Yeah, we've been separate in our own corners, doing our own things.
Yeah, so I feel like yours and I's path, specifically or in particular, these last 2 weeks have been just that. You know what I mean? I know we haven't really had time to catch up anymore, just because when we get in here, it's work time, it's grind time. So I just wanted to catch up with you. How's your health going? How's your fitness going? How's your life going? If you want to share that, what's going on in the world with Colton?
Life is good. Yeah, like you're saying, is busy. Work is good. Gosh, man. Yeah, it seems like you've been on production a lot. Also, so it's you've been helping Brian. You've been on production, so it's kind of high and by type of stuff. So
definitely.
But my life is good. Work is good. Outside of work, family's good. Family's busy. I've had a lot of weekend stuff going on with friend groups, meeting up, just church stuff.
Yeah.
Just trying to find stuff. And so in the past few weeks, it was my wife's birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Brittany.
Yeah, happy birthday. Happy late birthday, babe.
Yeah, happy late birthday.
And then a week later, it was our anniversary.
That's right.
7 years.
Happy
married.
Anniversary to Colton and Brittany.
There's that. And then Mother's Day is this weekend. So
busy.
It's all packed.
So
one.
April to May is a busy time for you. And then
very busy.
You got birthdays coming up too, if I remember correctly.
Yep. And then my oldest daughter is turning 5 on June 14th, so that's another thing to look forward to.
5 years old, dude.
Yeah, 5 years old.
And how quick did that go?
Too fast.
Too fast, right?
Too fast. Yeah.
It's a cliche thing to say that your kids, the childhood of your kids goes by way too fast. I always try to remember that, because though everybody says it, it's absolutely true. It feels like, because my kid is also getting ready to start school soon, and I can't believe it. I can't believe that I have to drop off my child to a school.
Somebody else.
I never thought I'd get to this point.
Yeah, that's wild. So other than being busy, everything's good. I have nothing to complain about right now. My physical health is really good. I've been going to the gym almost every single day. Yeah. Not even your standards 5 days a week. I'm trying to go every single day, or at least just do something every day, just staying on top of it.
Yeah.
My brother actually has a saying called "weekends cause weekends."
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
And it's kind of just no days off type of thing. So always make sure you're doing something. So it's kind of motivating me to just stay with it. Don't get in a mental spot of, I got to go to the gym Monday through Friday and then take the weekends off. I can do it. Right. It's a lifestyle, more of a lifestyle type thing. So really been pushing it physically, and that's it. And then trying to find free time to hang out with friends like you. And, we keep talking about let's hang out, play dates for our daughters and stuff. So we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Our goal.
We'll get there. Especially this summer when it's getting before it gets extremely hot.
Yeah.
Hopefully we could get together, or shortly after, or maybe go to the pool or whatever.
Pool time.
Very quick. The weekend makes weekend things I find very intriguing. Does your brother, and I guess a question for you, speaking of Q&A, I got a question for you. Do you believe in, not believe in because it's a thing, but what's your opinion on cheat days as far as like food goes?
That's crazy. I just listened to a podcast like last night at the gym, and they were talking about this.
Oh, really?
It was more on like a spiritual level type like days off, like when you want to take sabbatical and what that looked like. Yeah, I don't believe in cheat days.
Yeah.
I believe in like cheat meals, but like a full day where you just like indulge yourself and whatever and feel crappy about yourself. I don't believe in it.
It doesn't seem productive.
Days off should be rest.
Yeah.
You know, cheat days should be like rest for your body. And then, go have like a cheat meal. What they were saying on the podcast was actually really good. It's like, go have a cookie, but don't have the whole pack.
Right.
Because not like you're going to have... It's so funny that you asked this because I'm just going to repeat what they were saying.
Yeah.
They said, so the lifestyle that it took to get a 6-pack.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't reach a certain goal and you just have made it and then it's there. You're still going to have to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Even when you got it to maintain it. So they were just talking about that and what that looks like. And if you have a cheat meal, then go have a cheat meal, but don't indulge in everything.
Right.
You know, so we'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah. That's another
the health side of things.
Yeah. Another health podcast. I think that's a very good one that we can discuss because I have so many opinions on that. And I used to do cheat meals and blah, blah, blah. And I grew out of that very quickly when I found out it's unnecessary.
It's dumb.
Anyways, yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. How are you, Ed?
Yeah.
How's your life?
My life is getting organized, I'd like to say. Lindsay and I have made it a point of emphasis, in particular April and May, to look at finances, which luckily her and I, if there's anybody out there that struggles with finances, like marital finances or relationship finances, I know it's like a big topic of argumentative communication within couples. Which is so unfortunate to me because I grew up always there's a balance between Lindsay and I where like I'm pretty decent with money just because I don't care for money at all. I hate the discussion of it. I hate really spending it. I feel like it's I'm trying to make it unnecessary in my life even though it's absolutely necessary. Yeah. Lindsay is a very prepared person, organized person. And she also likes to spend. I mean, it is what it is. We like to spend, but she likes to spend. And so both of us together have made it so easy on each other to balance out that financial burden of getting through life, especially nowadays where we're having some economic issues in America right now. But Lindsay and I have been so good about open communication, her more so, if I'm being honest. But now we're like in a mode where like, look, let's just put everything we got in the table, scramble it up and see how we could just organize it, like metaphorically, right?
That's good.
So we did that. And I don't know, my health has been extremely better ever since the intestinal scare that I had, and it happened to be dairy. That's all it was. It came down to dairy. I can't drink dairy, and that's fine. And then my diet has been good. My exercise, my health could use a little bit more work. Right. Like I need to get into the gym. I need to be active. I need to do something. The only time I'm really active is here, especially because I've been doing production. Yeah. My body's getting to that physical point where like, okay, you've been standing up all day trying to grind it out and everything. So I do need to make more of an effort in that regard. And then my family, like I said, Lindsay and I, our relationship gets better every time. It's her and I are so lucky to have one another. And I tell her that all the time. Like we're so much more than like a married couple. We're like best friends. And I think that's like so important.
That's the goal?
Yeah, that's the goal for sure. Yeah. And then my kid, like I said, she's starting school and seeing her develop and her get excited for school and then like asking her grandparents for like, can we go shopping? I want to get some clothes, like new school clothes and her backpack. And it's just nice. Life is so, it comes at you fast. Yep. And it's like, you just always have to remember to like live in the present or at least try your best to. Right. because it'll go quick.
Yeah, too quick. They're
But-
5, then they're 10, then they're 20.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, my life is good. I'm at a good point in my life right now. I'm really happy. Happy here, happy at home. So can't complain.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, but so yeah, let's get into this Q&A.
Yeah,
we have some questions that were sent by people that I know, by people that Colton know, by family, by friends, by coworkers too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into. I guess let's just go down the list. This is from David. I don't know. No one has told me to be discreet about their names, so I'm just going to say who it's by, first name only.
Cool. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
You are now our guest.
Thank you for listening. David asks, what is your opinion on experimental mixed coffee drinks, i.e. like pickle juice or lemon juice with espresso? Have you seen that before?
Pickle juice?
I've seen pickle juice.
Ugh.
I've seen lemon juice. Have you seen that?
Seen lemon juice.
Strawberry, stuff like that. I don't know if it's a growing fad, but I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it like on social media. Have you? I guess that's a good question. Is have you seen all that like stuff going on like the coffee world of social media?
I'm pretty off social media now, so it's hard
True.
to see the trendy stuff.
True.
But when I was on it, let's see what was popular with that, like cocktail type coffee beverages, orange juice, like OJ, like espresso drinks.
Yeah,
that was pretty popular. But that's all I saw. I never saw pickle juice.
There's pickle juice. There's cranberry juice. There's lime, lemon. I know Nate, our coworker, he's experimented with that kind of stuff too. Yeah. They try anything nowadays. It seems like with espresso.
Yeah. One of my favorite drinks is actually made with orange juice.
So what is it?
So it's on ice, and then you get some sparkling water, just plain.
Yeah.
You put it in the glass, and then you put. It's like half and half. So you put the half of the sparkling water and then another half orange juice, like good orange juice.
Okay.
And then you put a shot of espresso on top of that.
Okay.
And it's awesome. And when I'm talking about a shot of espresso, not like a dark, nasty like shot of espresso. It has to be something like lighter that kind of balances that the orange juice out and stuff. It's really good. It's actually it's really good. And especially if I put like an orange slice on top of it or a lemon slice.
Yeah. I don't know if you know what an old fashioned is, but it sounds like a coffee old fashioned.
A lot like that, yeah. Yeah, Steady State, one of our favorite coffee shops. They have like an old fashioned cold brew type thing. It has like orange bitters and stuff like that in it.
You're right. I didn't even think about that.
It's good. And they put an orange peel on top.
Yeah. I think that Lindsay's had it before, if not me. Wow, interesting. I guess I do like it because I've had that before, and I was always so indifferent of like going too experimental with stuff.
Yeah.
Like the pickle juice thing, I don't like pickles to begin with, so I would never try like a pickle juice coffee drink.
Yeah, no, I'm not down. No,
but
so that's my opinion on pickle juice.
So you like the pickle juice? No, but everything else, like trying like fruit flavors, that like aromatic stuff that could pair well with different coffees. You're all for it.
Yeah, but the coffee does have to match it.
Yeah,
like lighter, brighter stuff that fits in well with fruit.
Yeah,
if you put like a dark coffee on top of fruit juice, it's gonna be burnt.
Right.
Taste, and it's just not going to be good. So it's all about experimenting.
Yeah. Interesting.
I actually have a book that's really good on like cocktails and mixed drinks with coffee and juice or other beverages. So I'll let you take a look at it.
Yeah, please. I'll bring it in. Maybe that's something we could try one day and then discuss it. Because I always kind of strayed away from, especially with coffee. Like coffee is indulged. Just plain, like coffee is coffee for a lot of people, like what we're drinking now.
Yes.
So like anything outside of that, like it took me a long time to even get into lattes, honestly. But yeah, maybe I'll have to try. Yeah, if you bring that book, I'd absolutely love to take a look at it.
Yeah, and I'll make you come over. I'll make you an orange juice.
It's
kind of like I know you've probably seen it, espresso tonic. So it's like tonic water and a shot of espresso on top, usually with some lime.
Yes,
it's like that, but with orange juice.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, David, opinion is no pickle juice. Everything else, we'll try it.
Heck yeah.
Lindsay, my wife, has asked, what was the hardest part about starting your coffee business? And I'll let you start because I gotta kind of think on this still. I thought I had answers about this, but do you have an answer about what was the hardest part about starting your coffee business?
Sure. Yeah. It was the setup.
Yeah.
Not that the process was hard. It was just you have to do so much.
Yeah.
So making every label, attaching every SKU to the label, and then implementing that into your store and making sure all the pieces were correct and fitting, so that way when someone ordered that, it would come through nice and smooth without any problems. Your label would pop up. That was the hardest thing for me. And I had like a million mistakes and I needed to correct them. And so I would stay up. It just took so long. So that was probably the hardest part. But other than that, it was pretty easy. Like my wife, she helped with the website, which was really cool. I did all the design work. And then sales just came naturally because I just have freaking awesome people around that surround me. So they supported me. And then, that was the hardest part.
I guess mine was like kind of in reverse. The hardest part for me, and this, I think I had an advantage of this having you and Brian around, where I don't know if maybe you didn't have anybody around besides Brian. Yeah. But the integration of setting up my coffee store was easy because I had you to ask things. I had Brian there to ask questions to, or DJ to ask questions to. But like,
and you kind of already were starting that side of things for Brian and for other customers.
So the hardest part for me was actually finding the brand I was going to use or the label design, because I had so many ideas. I just didn't know how to put it onto a label. I was running through things like in my head, like, okay, what colors do I want to use? What design do I want to use? Like, what do I want to cater to? Blah, blah, blah. That was the hardest part for me, is trying to find out like the niche that I wanted like to gravitate towards.
And like your look and okay.
So that was the hardest part for me. Everything that after that though, it came natural. Like you said, people supported me almost immediately. All the awesome people that bought from both of our stores. That I think that's what we were really lucky on, is just having that community around us that supported us right away.
Yeah. To further her question, what's your hardest thing you're dealing with now that you've established it?
Consistency. So I was actually talking to Nate about this, our coworker, and there's times though my life, though I said it's where I'm at a good point and I feel organized, I still need to find good balance. And that is balancing my work life with my family life, with my outside activity life, with my friend life, with my extracurricular life, with my physical like health life. Yeah. So I need to find out, because I put more of an effort on one thing that takes away my efforts on another thing.
Got it.
My efforts right now are trying to just, like I said, get with Lindsay and manage our lives better and see where we could go as far financially goes, and trying to get Eloise ready for school, because that's coming up, and that takes me away from
side hustles.
Exactly. So that's the hardest part, is finding the consistency of like making sure I'm reaching out to my audience and branding myself and going out and doing cold calls if I need to. That's the hardest part for me right now.
Right.
What about you?
Consistency too. Yeah. Especially on social media. Yeah. I have like no social media presence right now, which I wish, I was posting 2-3 times a week. And, because when I first had it, I was like, I was talking to everybody, all my followers, everything, asking them questions, posting photos of like every coffee I was drinking, and I would get compliments. And right now it's nothing. It's just hard, like you're saying, to find the time. It's like in my back pocket. I know it's doing well, but there is that.
Another topic of discussion, maybe a future episode, is like what we want to do with our social medias, or the world of social media in our business. Just side note it. But
if you want free coffee and want to run my social media, contact me.
Yeah, there you go. We can outsource. That's perfect.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Next question. Thank you, Lindsay. Love you. Sean, that is my sister-in-law. Who can make a better espresso shot? I already know the answer to this. What is your favorite coffee for espresso? I'll take that away. You absolutely are better at making espresso shots. One, because you've been doing it longer.
Right.
You have proper equipment, which I don't.
Yes.
I rely on the equipment we have here when I take espresso home.
Yeah, I mean, just my grinder alone is the reason why I can outdo you on espresso.
And you just have a machine that allows you to be more experimental and allows you to build up your skill in making an espresso shot, where the machine I have it's kind of like a dummy machine, or like a beginner machine, right? So I would say you are better at making espresso shots by landslide, which is fine.
But we can both make you a really good coffee.
Yeah. And I had made Sean coffee before, and I think she's liked it. So
I hope so.
But the coffee that we use for our espresso, I do take certain coffee home specifically for espressos and specifically for drip coffee. But let me ask you, what do you like to take home, or what do you take home or use when you make espresso shots?
I have usually 3 at a time, so it just matters how I'm going to make it. So if I want just straight up black coffee, like if I want an Americano, an iced Americano, if I want just straight up espresso shots, then I prefer light roast. So anything like Costa Rica, Guatemala, Tanzania, Ethiopia, any of those really bright, nice coffees.
Yeah.
I'll even do medium, like our Peru or Colombia is really nice. But other than that, if I'm going to do a milk-based drink, then I bump it up to a medium or a medium dark. So right now I usually lean on Honduras or Mexico, or even like African espresso.
Okay.
Any of those that are sitting right in that field for roast level,
Yeah.
that's what I go for. I never do dark roast. I don't like the taste. I don't like what it does to your grinders. I don't like what it does to your espresso machine. It's just all bad all around. So I stay away from that.
Good point. Oily, right?
Oily, yes.
Yeah. Interesting. I kind of stay in the middle of like medium roast. Like you, I don't go ever dark roast. I used to when I thought I knew what good espresso tasted like, and I was using that very popular Italian espresso. What is it called? It's like a very popular brand.
Oh, you're talking about brand.
Yeah, it's like has like a red square, and it's like comes in a tin can, and they're Italian.
Illy?
Yes, Illy. Yeah. I used to bring that home a lot, and I thought that was good espresso. Which maybe it is. Maybe
for most people, that's all is dark roast.
Yeah.
The more oily, the darker, the better. Yeah. And especially too, a lot of people that have low budget in like espresso machines, that's really the only coffee you can use in those. Because as soon as you put like a fresh light roast in one of those coffees that can't handle that much pressure, it just backs up and it gets all jacked up. So you kind of need the dark roast.
Yeah. So I used to be using those, but now I bring home a lot of Mexico and Peru, which I like. I enjoy in Mexico a little bit more than Peru. Yeah. Especially because we do make lattes, and like you said, if you go medium, you kind of want to get a little bit more darker in your roast, not like anything lighter. And that's what majority of the time we do is make lattes. So Mexico is my favorite.
Nice.
But, yeah.
That's actually what you're drinking right now. That's what I made you.
There we go. I was going to ask too.
Yeah, Mexico Americano. And that's funny because I just finished my Peru Americano.
See?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, it's good.
Thank you for the question, Sean. This one's from Bonnie. What is your opinion on K-Cups, and does it change the flavor of your coffee?
Boo.
Yeah. Big boo.
There's nothing good I can say about K-Cups.
Big boo. And
well, let me change. Go ahead. Sorry.
My opinion on K-Cups is, like I said, and I think we mentioned this before, if you're on the move and you need somewhere to be, there are places that provide you good quality coffee in your K-Cups, like us.
Right.
We roast almost to order on K-Cups. I don't even know if we want to say anything about that actually, but we roast our coffee for K-Cups specifically.
Yep, we grind it, we put it in the cups.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
which is the best K-Cup you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a positive when you're buying K-Cups from certain local companies or small business companies. But K-Cups in general, my beef is with the machine, not the actual coffee. Because the machine, I don't think it ever gets cleaned. People don't use the right water in it.
That's very important.
There's no portion control in it, either in the coffee or in the water output. Yep. That's my issue was always with the machine. What's your opinion on it?
It's really hard to get a good K. It's hard. So I don't like the machines. If you do use the machine, you hit it right on the head. Like, you got to use good water. Please use like filtered spring water or something like that at least, and then just buy the right K-Cups. But if you're going to a general store, you're buying old K-Cups, and the coffee that's in those K-Cups, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think it's nasty. They love it. They love the convenience. They love how easy it is. They put their K-cup in their cup and they douse it with creamer and they're good to go. And that's how they like their coffee. Mm-hmm. So I guess if you like it, go ahead. But for me personally, no.
Yeah, same with me. And again, like I started off being a K-cup person when I didn't know like how to get good coffee.
We've all been there.
But yeah, K-cups, if you can, just find another solution for drinking your coffee.
Or, go to lostwoods.com and buy some.
I do offer K-cups.
The best K-cups you can.
Breakfast, 6 Bean Cowboy. No decaf yet. I got to get there. And as far as the taste goes, it does change the taste because of all those factors.
Yeah, it's just watery. Like you can't really get a good extraction out of a K-cup.
Yeah.
Simple as that, because like what we talked about in our last episode, if you haven't, check it out. We talk about the bloom phase, right? Mm-hmm. So that's when the coffee opens up and it lets all the goodness out of the coffee grounds. In a K-cup, you don't have that option. Mm-hmm. It just squirts through the cup and that's what you get. So you get a very low yield of coffee.
That's kind of my opinion on actually drip machines, like just standard drip machines too. Mm-hmm. You always want to get that bloom.
Yeah, and which it's cool because like the Mocha Master and other types of machines that are pour over brewers like that, they actually do have a bloom phase now. So they have the machines that let the water out, lets it bloom, and then it starts pouring after a certain amount of time. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to get one of those machines. My parents do like the machine that I have, so I gave it to them, the drip machine that I had. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking into one of those ones.
Nice.
Ones that we kind of had similar to what we had in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that brand called?
I forget.
Yeah, it was a good option. Mm-hmm. It was only like $100 too on Amazon.
I did break it once, but
yeah, we all did. I think we went through like 3 of them.
But yeah, it's still a good machine though.
Yeah, it's better than your average coffee maker.
Right. Thank you, Bonnie. Steve, my coworkers really like dark coffee from Folgers. Yuck. I do not. How do you convince one to drink better tasting coffee than cheap, affordable coffee? It's kind of like a marketing thing of like a marketing practice. How do you convince somebody to drink your coffee opposed to Folgers coffee, even though it's cheaper?
Yeah. I think first you just explain, because a lot of people that are on the Folgers game, they don't even know what specialty coffee is and they don't really care. Mm-hmm. So first you got to educate them. Mm-hmm. If I sit down with somebody that just drinks Folgers, they don't really know what coffee is, you got to educate them. And then you just open their eyes a little bit. Oh, I didn't really think about it. I just drink coffee.
Yeah.
It's just there. Mm-hmm. So education first, and then you got to get them to try it, obviously. Yep. So got to make sure they drink a good cup of coffee, and then they get the experience. Mm-hmm. And then moving on from there, they're probably going to be like, oh, dang, I've been doing this all wrong. And then on top of that, you got the health benefits like we've talked about. Yeah. So then they realize, oh, I should be drinking fresh, like organic, good specialty grade coffee because it's better for me. Mm-hmm. It's not going to jack me up. It's not old. It's all that stuff. So there's that side of things. So it's really just a long list of a process. You can't really just be like judgmental and,
no,
because most people, especially in this country, are at that Folgers level or that grocery store level.
Yeah.
And they don't really think anything above that. So it's all about, just bringing it up, having conversation, having them experiment it. If you want, buy them a bag of coffee, send it to them, have them try it, see what they think. And then from there, you can educate them and give them that experience that we've all had. That's
a great way to, I think the most, how do I want to say this? The most productive thing you could do is just, like you said, have them taste it. Like have something there that they could compare it to, because then it might open their eyes to like, oh yeah, there's coffee can taste better than what I'm drinking. But right. I was thinking of like, okay, if I was like a sales guru, or if I was like really trying to like sell you on something, I'm gonna try to improvise it, like this situation. I would say like, hey, what are you drinking there? You're drinking Folgers coffee? He goes, yeah, I drink Folgers coffee. It's cheap and it does the job. It wakes me up. And I was like, well, that's good. Do you like better? Would you want to try better tasting coffee? He's like, maybe. I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it more expensive? I was like, yeah, it's more expensive. But let me ask you something. How do you drink your coffee? Well, I put cream and sugar. And I was like, well, you use all that cream and sugar, but maybe you wouldn't have to use all that cream and sugar if you're tasting better coffee, because it seems like you're just trying to hide the bad taste of coffee with all that cream and sugar.
Yeah.
What if I could tell you that you don't need to use that much cream or that much sugar, and that could save you that amount of money that you would buy the expensive coffee with in place of Folgers. It would help, like you said, it would help you with better health, and maybe something that you get into. Maybe you buy your own equipment and stop coming over here and using, we don't know what water you use. How about you just give it a try? That would kind of be my approach to it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's a way that maybe you could approach it. If they're stubborn enough, maybe just start bringing your own coffee.
Yeah, or just like, especially if it's at your workplace, then maybe buy some good coffee and go sneak it in the coffee maker one morning and brew it and see it. Watch everybody's reaction.
That's a great idea. Yeah. And hopefully they don't use like milk and stuff.
But the hard part is, it's like most people that are making that coffee, and if it's going to be like Folgers compared to fresh, like medium coffee, you know, and they put some in their cup and then they put creamer in it, it's actually not going to be as good because it's not going to be as strong.
Yeah.
So like, they really just go by strength level at that point. They're like, oh, this tastes bad because my coffee's not strong.
Right.
So if you do, maybe sneak a darker specialty coffee in first, and then back it off to the medium, and then they can start, you know, putting less creamer in, and then eventually, after conversations and all that stuff, maybe they'll get to light roasts. And
yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, try that, Steve. Just sneak in some good coffee.
Let us know how it goes.
Yeah. Elijah asks, how come you guys don't sell flavored coffee on your stores? Now, I know Elijah, and he has bought for my store before, and he listens to this podcast, obviously, so I'm assuming he's seen your store. We don't sell flavored coffee. I have an answer to this, but I'm curious what your reason is.
Well, I got to be honest, I sell one.
You do?
But it's only seasonal.
Oh, okay.
And it's only ground coffee. Because I never want anybody to put flavored coffee into their grinders.
Right.
Because it could jack it up. Or their espresso machine grinder or whatever. Don't do it. Try not to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times it's harmless, but over time, if you're putting whole bean flavored coffee in, it might get a little sticky, and you might have to clean it more and more, and it's just saves you the hassle.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I only sell pumpkin spice pumpkin spice flavored coffee in the fall time.
Yeah.
Just because people think it's fun. And it's not necessarily the taste. I don't want to sell it. I think I don't want to cover up the natural state of the coffee.
Yeah.
You know, and even though it's naturally flavored and it's, you know, a good natural flavoring, it's not artificial and all that junk, but I still just don't choose to do it. I want coffee to be what coffee is. I don't want to be covered up with anything, and yeah, simple as that. So.
I agree. My answer was actually that is I don't want to sell people flavored coffee for the sake of them possibly ruining a good cup of coffee or the taste of coffee.
Right.
Because you're altering the taste at that point.
Yeah.
At that point, just go buy creamer or go buy sugar or something. You know.
Add it afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my answer. So that's the reason why I don't sell. I don't think I'll ever sell it.
Yeah.
A seasonal, I don't know if I even want to do that.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah.
I just did it just for fun, just to see.
Yeah.
I think last year I didn't actually even do it. I don't even think I made it active in my store. But we do have that option. Let's see. I was going to say something. Oh, I'm also kind of against it because if you look how big store like Starbucks sells their pumpkin spice like coffee, they're probably making it right now for the fall.
Yeah, and that's a good point.
So they roast bad coffee, they grind it, and then those coffee grounds go on a conveyor belt, and they're just misted with artificial flavoring. And then that gets put in a bag, gets put on a shelf, and that coffee's old, it's nasty.
Yeah.
You don't know where that flavoring's coming from. All it says is made with artificial flavoring.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a roast date. There's nothing good about that.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about it.
I know. I sometimes feel bad for not being the person that has flavored coffee for people that enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you know how the, what's that saying? When you know how something's made, you don't want to do it because of that reason.
How the sausage is made?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
When you know how the sausage is made,
Yeah.
you rather not sell it.
Yeah, you don't want to know what's in there.
Right? So that's why I don't do it.
Okay, it's good.
Simple as
And
that.
you don't need to.
And sorry, Elijah, that we don't have it, but pumpkin spice during the season, maybe.
I might take it away now, but
Sarah asked, what is your favorite activity to do while drinking coffee or your tea? Mine is reading books.
I'll let you go first on this one.
My favorite activity is actually absolutely nothing.
Yes.
My favorite thing to do is just enjoy a cup of coffee in the silence in the morning when I wake up, in particular on the weekends. I wake up early because I wake up early usually just for work in general. So my brain's alarm clock wakes up early on the weekends too, which is fine. But I always go and get my coffee. That's one of the first things I do. I get up, use the restroom if I need to, drink some water, and then I go let the dogs out, and then me and my dog will go to the kitchen, and I'll make a latte or a coffee.
Nice.
And then I'll just sit on the couch and just wait for Eloise to wake up, which she usually does, and then let Lindsay sleep, or they both wake up at the same time. It's the best.
That is the best.
It's the best feeling, just like sitting there and just like maybe just thinking about stuff, like, or just like thinking about your dreams or thinking about what you're going to do that day, and just having a time of peace and meditation and just drinking good coffee with your dog or just on your own. It's awesome.
If you can get that like morning sunshine somewhere with that, there's nothing like that.
There's nothing like
good.
it. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite thing to do while drinking coffee is just absolutely nothing but just drinking coffee.
Yeah. I have to agree.
Yeah.
I'm on the same lines.
Uh-huh.
I was going to make a joke and say like parkour, something, but that's good.
Parkour.
Or from there, that's probably my favorite thing. Or just with friends, like if you're with a good group of friends and you have a really good coffee that you kind of like want to show off and give everybody that experience, that's really cool too, just in that environment. Or with breakfast. Yeah. So either they're at like a diner or a good coffee shop. I love having like a good breakfast, good cup of coffee. Yeah. That whole thing.
Yeah. I hate to be the guy that says I don't eat breakfast because I don't eat breakfast. So I don't really know that feeling, but I get that. I get it. That's
like the diner, like food and drink. Yeah.
So the silence, but second place though is like you said, going out with friends or going out with my wife and trying like, whether it's going to like a coffee shop and just sitting there drinking some good coffee and conversing. That's the second best.
Yeah. I do want to have like the experience of like, they do have like specialty coffee bars where you can go, you can sit, and then you have your baristas that are doing like usually like pour overs. They're big in Japan. I think there's a few in LA too, but I want to go have that experience where you go sit down and then they have like a full coffee menu, and then you have this barista that's just super educated on all these coffees, and they just give you like a full experience of coffees too. So that's something I want to do.
Yeah.
That was off topic, kind of.
Yeah. Reading books, going back to Sarah reading books, not a reader, but I would imagine that's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
If you have a hobby and you're just drinking some coffee, if it's like a relaxing hobby.
Yeah. When I do have the time to just sit, enjoy coffee, and I'm reading my Bible in the morning, that is good. It's great. But yeah, I'm like you. I don't really have time or really make the effort to read books.
It's it's like a precious thing to me just to have that silence and drink my coffee.
Like 10 minutes in the morning.
That's all I need.
Maybe.
That's all I need, 10 minutes. Yeah. And then seeing freaking little Eloise come out of the room like half asleep, head all messy, hair all messy. Just like she doesn't have to say anything. She'll just come and sit next to me. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Great question. And now I can't wait for this weekend. Cody provided us with a bunch of questions. Thank you, Cody. I'm assuming you know Cody?
I think I know him.
Okay.
Yeah. He is my brother. He is my big brother.
Okay, Cody. Yeah. Shout out to Cody again.
What up, bro?
Hardest thing you've ever done and how you beat it. Now, this could be not coffee related. Mm-hmm. This could just be
life
anything,
in general,
right? I'll let you take this one away first.
Oh gosh, I've done a lot of hard things, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that just being a dad is the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still learning every day. You know, I haven't beat it yet, but it's like, I feel like when I do learn more, it's like, yeah, like, you know, I'm becoming a good dad. Mm-hmm. Or just being a husband too at the same time, like being a dad and a husband and making that all come together. That's the hardest thing. Mm-hmm. But if let's think of something that I've already accomplished. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah. And do you have anything?
Yeah, but I'm scared because I think I could get emotional with this question because there's things that I truly believe were like so hard in my life.
Yeah.
And it was like more of like an internal struggle.
Yeah.
And I know I beat it because I'm in like such a better place now than I was before.
Yeah.
And I contribute that success to the aid of Lindsay. Mm-hmm. Lindsay helped me through some of the ugly parts of my life. Yeah. And that, I'm just going to go ahead and share. Like I wasn't like the best student. I wasn't the best son to my mom, though it wasn't like anything extreme.
Yeah.
I just know I could have been better. I could have done better with my education. I could have done better with my life at a young age. I could have done better with relationships at a young age. Mm-hmm. And I could have done better with like my internal acceptance, which is what it really comes down to is accepting me for who I am instead of trying to be somebody else. And Lindsay came into my life at such a great time because though I was bettering myself around that time, Lindsay just elevated the possibility of me forgetting everything that happened to me in the past and just starting over with my life.
That's awesome.
Because I just always had I had issues with accepting who I was, and it's not in the way that like I was living a lie. I was living my life was a lie, blah blah blah. So it wasn't like that. It was just accepting my heritage, my place in school, and the cliques, and like I said, my relationships, and like I don't know why I struggled with that internally.
Your identity.
Yeah, my identity. Like I was. Yeah. I didn't know who I should be around my friends. I didn't know who I should be around my family. There was like division between that, but I come to learn like eventually, and it came better late, but better late than never, I guess. I just accepted myself for who I was, and I wasn't scared to bring somebody home, or I wasn't scared to just like share my hobbies or my beliefs or anything with anybody anymore. And then like Lindsay came into my life and she made it so much easier because she accepted me right away, and she was actually trying to get involved with my life. She was wanted to meet my parents. She wanted to learn about my culture. She wanted to know about my past. And like, she just opened herself, and it allowed me to open myself to her. It was,
she saw you.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like when even if you're not portraying yourself, like the real you, it's like, and I know I can say the same thing about my wife. They just see you inside, like somehow they see the potential in you. They see like the love that you have and like the kindness. Yeah, and that's really cool. So
there was a couple of times I've hit like I would say my own kind of rock bottom, and luckily I overcame that, and I'm so happy. Like I'm content with the person that I am. I'm happy that I met Lindsay. I'm happy with our child, and like I couldn't be in a better position. I couldn't have asked for like whoever it is and whoever is out there, or like any kind of existential spirit or whatever. I'm just so glad that whatever it was, it gave me the opportunity to learn from those mistakes or learn from those experiences and get to where I'm at now. Yeah. Because I didn't imagine myself being here at some point in the past. So
that's good.
That's definitely the hardest thing I had to overcome and beat it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess something that I have beat, anger, I feel like I definitely beat that. I was pretty bad as a kid. Like I just had like outbursts and stuff like that. So I've beaten that. That was hard. And that's still like, I'm still just, I think you work on that forever, the rest of your life. And then let's see, giving up alcohol was pretty good too. Like I wouldn't call myself an addict, but just breaking that out of my life, and not like going to parties and taking part and like being in that whole scene was huge. So I think just seeing life outside of that was pretty big. I think it's been like 8 years since I even had a sip of alcohol. I just like woke up one morning and I was like, cold turkey, boom, done. Shouldn't be in my life. So
you know what I love about you too? You don't try to make it your identity. It's just you are who you are. Like I've met people that and just know it, again, I'm not like trying to demoralize or disrespect or even downgrade these certain individuals. I'm not even gonna name names, but like I've met people that they make their sobriety their identity. It's just you. You don't talk about it really, or you don't mention it. We just know that about you, and you don't like make it a thing, but we know it's something like important to you. But you don't like make it like, you don't have to mention it to every person. No,
it's my own life. It's something I chose to do, and you know, I know what it did for me, and I know what it's going to do for my kids and everything like that. Like something I can be an example of. So once you just make something a part of you, just live it out, and you shouldn't portray it on others. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm not going to judge anybody for where they're at. You know, it's like I have the capabilities to do whatever I want, to, you know, indulge in whatever I want. There's no reason for me to judge anybody for where they're at.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's awesome. Great question.
Yeah, that was good. We can get deep with that question.
Yeah, so deep. Best music to roast to. Best music to roast to.
I've never roasted to music because it's so stinking loud, so you can't really hear. And then we don't wear headphones when we roast because you want to hear what's going on. So I wouldn't know.
I do enjoy when we put on like some country or some reggae after we're done, like during cleaning.
Yeah.
But that's the closest thing we do to listening to music.
Reggae is pretty good.
Yeah. But no music during roasting. Roasting has its own music. It's its own tune.
Yeah, it's just loud
and it's beautiful. Yeah, beans cracking and pouring and the drop.
Yeah. I think I've tried it once, like listening to something while roasting. I'm like, nope,
it doesn't
too
work.
distracting. I gotta like pay attention to what's going on.
Sorry we didn't have a good answer for that, but the cleaning part we do. Favorite coffee type. Now I don't know if this means like espresso or like drip or something.
Let's do both for each. So let's do origin. So let's do favorite origin, and then let's do, I guess, style.
Okay.
So coffee drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want me to go?
Sure.
My favorite origin is Mexico at the moment. I do enjoy it in espresso form, usually in a latte. It pairs well with my oat milk and honey or maple syrup and brown sugar. That's kind of like my flavor of choice right now. And then for drip, I love good whiskey, a whiskey blend that we have here. I don't know why I just gravitated toward it when I first started here, and it just never let me go.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my two right now.
Cool. My favorite origin is Colombia, by far. I don't know what it is, but almost like every Colombia I have is delicious. They just have excellent coffee coming out of there.
That's what we had from the press the other day, right?
No, that was
Ecuador.
Yeah. Which was bomb.
Yeah.
So I could say Ecuador, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, Colombia is my favorite. I do like just like your standard pour over of a Colombia.
Yeah.
Especially when you dial it in, it's great. So that would be my favorite origin and style of brew.
Colombia. I know one of our favorite coffee shops, Steady State, just revealed the new Colombia that I'd like to try.
Dude, yes. And they're actually almost the reason why I love Colombia so much, because they always seem to have such a good varietal of Colombia at their shop.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a mix of Colombia and Ethiopia they have for their Space Traveler, I think it's called. Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
One of the best coffees I've ever had. And big ups to them because they won one of San Diego's best coffee shops.
Nice.
So congrats to Steady State. And then, I guess we'll end off with a fun one, a very in the now one by my brother, Eric. He says, so there's a big phenomenon in the hip hop world. If you do follow it, if you don't, that's okay. It's very kind of silly at the same time. But in the hip hop world, there tends to be some beef, and that beef stems from, oh, I'm a better rapper than you. No, I'm a better rapper than you, or it gets down a little deeper. And two of the biggest rap star or hip hop stars, rap stars, whatever you want to call them right now, have been feuding. They've been calling each other out. And it just seems like there's just hatred between them two, and it's been boiling up for a very long time, like a decade in the making, apparently. And that's been like the biggest thing in pop or hip hop news, right? Yeah. So people kind of have been picking sides. Are you Team Kendrick, or are you Team Drake, or like whose music do you prefer, or who's had the best diss track or whatever? Yeah. Cameron, who we had on the podcast, we talked about it. We texted about it. But yeah,
I know nothing about this. So.
It's great. I'm trying to give you a little bit of backstory.
Yeah, I get it.
So Kendrick is a West Coast rapper from Los Angeles, and he took some jabs at Drake, and Drake is from Canada. And obviously there's so much to go off of. As far as like back and forth goes. Some of it I'm not going to mention here just because it's like very inappropriate. Yeah. But I'm going to base, and my brother's question was, what was it? What kind of coffee is Drake? And it's such a silly question, but I'm going to indulge. So, and I'm not going to try to give context, because if you know this whole beef, then you'll know why I'm choosing these coffees. Okay. Drake, to me, right now, is half calf. Half decaf, half caffeinated.
Half Disney character, half gangster.
That's a good analogy there, okay? That's perfect. So that's Drake.
Because he came from Disney.
Yeah, or whatever Canada's version of Disney was he came from. And so that's him. And then Kendrick has to be something like coastal, West Coastal. So I was like thinking our blonde, or our just like straight up, I don't know, what's like a coastal drink, or like what's just like a medium coastal drink. Colombia, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, Costa Rica, I don't know.
Something consistent.
Something lighter.
Something consistent, something, I think medium, and something that it's pretty well balanced. So I was just thinking like Mexico or Colombia or Peru, or one of those things.
Just something steady, I guess.
Something that everybody likes, but yeah. Right. So that's my answer to that. All right. The half calf thing was like the more perfect Drake. That's perfect. Yeah. And you nailed it on the head. Yeah. So I
know little about their lives, but I could definitely just say, hey.
Yeah, it's been crazy what's been going on, and I think it's over now. But thank you, Eric, my brother, for that question. That was a fun one. But yeah, that's all the questions we've had. Yeah. I know Nate listens to our podcast.
Yeah, we gotta give a shout out to our coworker Nate.
Yeah, Nate. Yeah. He provided some kind of insight or some kind of topics, but I think those topics I kind of want to hit with him whenever we decide to have another guest or whatever. I kind of want to hit those topics with him and have that discussion with him, because he knows if there's somebody that has some kind of passion for coffee. He is one of them here at TCR, and I'd just like to maybe bring him in one day, and then we could just talk about what he wrote there, and then many more other things to come.
Yeah, and let's just read his questions real quick, and then when we do have him on, we'll talk about it. So he wants to know about the coffee processing methods and how farmers carry them out, the effects of salinity and acidity and their effects on coffee, the history of the espresso machine, how some baristas complicate coffee when they really don't have to, and then roasting coffee and controversy behind roast profile. So I think that would be really cool to talk with him about and get some opinions on.
Because it seems like he does have opinions on that, or else he wouldn't ask. Right. And I currently don't have any, so I got to kind of study up on that.
Yeah, I do have an opinion about like baristas complicating coffee. But other than that.
Yeah. So, well, Nate, again, he's always listening, and he's always been this great support for me and Colton. So Nate, we'll love to have you on one day, and we could shoot the shiz about all that stuff when you're
Let's
on.
do it. Yeah.
But before we end our podcast, and again, a big thank you for everybody that submitted a question. That was fun, actually.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Yeah, we should do that a lot more often.
Keep asking questions. We'll save them up for the next.
Again, big thank you. And we do have a guest for our next podcast.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Episode 10.
Episode 10.
Now, we mentioned his name many times. It is our coworker and our friend, DJ. DJ will be on our next podcast. And if there's anything that, again, I'll beg the question or send out the question. If there's anything you want to know about DJ or anything that we want to ask him or anything that you want us to bring up, comment or send us messages like you did. Again, it was awesome just to see the responses. So
yeah.
Sweet.
Well, thank you guys for everything. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Grind Culture. We love you guys. We hope that you have a good week and enjoy some good coffee.
Peace.
Peace.